What's going on, Japsters? This is your boy SYNTELL with your daily dose of the news. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscription button, click the bell icon for up-to-date news breaks, and give us a well-placed thumbs up. Let's get started. You've probably heard of a fun little show called COWBOY BEBOP. It started as a manga, which turned into an anime that has recently been adapted into a live-action series, and is now being adapted back into a comic book series. A prequel novel and coffee table art book based on the show are also on the way too. The streamer and the publisher Titan have announced a deal to create a series of books tying into the series, most of which will be released later this year. Kicking off things in November is COWBOY BEBOP, a syndicate story, Red Planet Requiem, a prequel novel written by series staff writer Sean Cummings, which follows a young Spike Spiegel, played by John Cho in the show, and vicious Alex Hassel, as they explore the galaxy in a time before they became deadly rivals. So in December, 4-issue COWBOY BEBOP comic series from Lucifer and Homesick Pilots Dan Waters, featuring art by Lamar Methuen and main covers from Stanley Othgram Lau, will arrive. Set during what seems to be events of the show, the comic will follow the crew of the Bebop as they hunt down an ex-gang member with an intriguing artifact, a vest that gives the wearer unlimited good luck. Rounding out the release in early 2022 is COWBOY BEBOP Making the Netflix Series by Jeff Bond, a hardcover book that collects both concept art and production photography from the series to lift the lid on how the show was made and the way it brings the original anime to live action. While COWBOY BEBOP #1 will hit shelves on a currently undisclosed date in December. COWBOY BEBOP Making the Netflix Series will release on January 11th, 2022, while of course the Netflix series itself will hit the streamer on November 19th. Now, we have waited for a live-action COWBOY BEBOP property for ages. Not only did we get one, we have an entire new universe of content that will likely be attached to it as well. This is a good thing and possibly a bad thing in the making. Maybe. This method of content creation of expanding already established worlds, well, we've already seen it with Disney properties such as Marvel, Star Wars, DC Comics as well. It's happening with both Avatars, James Cameron's Blue Aliens, and Nickelodeon's Airbender series. It's an embarrassment of riches, to be honest. So I'm asking the question, is it possible to have content fatigue in a world where everything is on demand, available, and abundant? Is it possible to burn out the magic of these franchises and force shorter attention spans? Could we be on the path of underappreciating all of this awesomeness? Well, as for me, I'm not there just yet, but I could potentially see the writing on the wall. I love COWBOY BEBOP, especially as a standalone masterpiece, and I have no doubt that I will love the expanding universe as well. Virgin Hyperloop has demonstrated that it can transport humans over a Hyperloop system, and now it's trying to convince everyone that this idea of transporting people at 670 miles an hour isn't a crazy pipe dream. The company, which is part of Richard Branson's Virgin Empire, released a video showing its vision for Hyperloop transportation and how it'll work. It's a pretty ambitious project, and it could take years to build out, but it very well could be the first new form of mass transit to materialize in more than 100 years. Virgin Hyperloop aims to send passengers and cargo pods at speeds that approach those of air travel. The 670 mile/hour target number is 3 times faster than high-speed rail and more than 10 times faster than traditional rail. That means that you can go from San Francisco to Los Angeles in about 30 minutes. The idea came from Robert Goddard, the rocket scientist who speculated about the concept in 1904. It was depicted in the 1973 sci-fi film Genesis 2, produced by Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry. Tesla CEO Elon Musk mentioned his idea to actually build it in 2012, and he assigned a team of engineers to design it. He released the Hyperloop designs as an open source project, and other companies picked up the ball. Los Angeles-based Virgin Hyperloop, formerly Virgin Hyperloop 1, has raised over $400 million in private capital since its founding in 2014. At the DevLoop test site outside of Las Vegas, Virgin Hyperloop has completed over 500 tests of the technology, including with human passengers. Governments and big businesses of the world are embracing the idea. The $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill making its way through the United States Congress has provisions that will support further development and deployment of the Hyperloop. The company says that several pods can depart per minute, and the system does not require stops at every station. Virgin Hyperloop wants to transfer 50,000 passengers per hour in an on-demand fashion. That's the equivalent of a 30-lane highway. The trip is being designed as a luxury experience. Other countries, including India and Saudi Arabia, are vying to be the first to establish a Hyperloop certification track and reap the potential economic benefits. Of course, there are plenty of engineering matters to consider, such as protecting the Hyperloops from earthquakes and terrorist attacks. Now, the Hyperloop talk has maintained its consistency since the initial announcement by Elon Musk back in 2012. Richard Branson, when he's not launching himself into space, is the type to take big ideas and turn them into reality. A part of of me feels like I'm watching that episode of The Simpsons when the monorail guy shows up in Springfield. I mean, we sing his praises only to find out that it's not exactly what we expected. At least The Simpsons got a nifty little song out of it. The project does make me feel a little bit better about how billionaires spend their money. Instead of watching them fling themselves into the heavens because, I mean, why not? We get a hopeful opportunity to see those resources be used to help the masses. For those who don't know, Magic the Gathering is a collectible tabletop card game that typically uses sets of cards to defeat their opponent's sets of cards. Obviously, there is way more to it than just that, but for the sake of speed, let's just say it's becoming more and more popular, especially after the world discovered new ways to entertain itself in the time of the pandemic. Netflix animated series Magic the Gathering, based off of the card game, is also running full steam ahead. Set to debut in late 2022, Brandon Roth, you may recognize him from Superman Returns, Legends of Tomorrow. He'll lead the cast of the series from executive producer Jeff Kline. Picked up straight to series in June 2019, the anime series unites familiar and well-loved planeswalkers for Magic fans and introduces new characters to tell the new story. Roth will voice the role of Gideon, an unflattering heroic planeswalker in the Magic the Gathering multiverse. Scripts for the new season have already been completed after Kline replaced Avengers in-game siblings Joe and Anthony Russo to steer the show's creative. Ralph, who said in a video accompanying the announcement that he's been playing Magic the Gathering since he was 16. He's quoted as saying, "I love this world and I'm very excited to be part of this animated series." Wizards of the Coast, the parent company of Magic the Gathering, also confirmed during its Magic Showcase 2021 that Django Wexler will pen an upcoming novel that will serve as a fast-paced prequel to the Netflix show. The novel will debut alongside the launch of Netflix series and follow Planeswalker Gideon Jura and Jace Beleren adventuring together as they right wrongs across the multiverse. The Netflix series and corresponding novel will debut at a date to be determined in late 2022. For those of you interested in simply the card collecting and playing the game, here's a bit of interesting news. Magic the Gathering fans can add characters from Fortnite Magic cards and Street Fighter Magic cards to their deck. While there is no release date yet, this announcement came as part of Magic the Gathering's Magic Showcase 2021 panel. The company shared that Fortnite and Street Fighter collections are both a part of Magic's Secret Lair collection. According to the official website, the Secret Lair drop series contains specially curated cards that feature some of the most exciting artists around. I'm not mad at the company for striking while the iron is hot. Outside of gaining a whole new audience for tabletop gaming in general, it's also riding the way of high-stake card selling as well. Card collectibles, be it sports cards, tabletop cards, or Pokemon cards, are turning casual fans into rabid black market hustlers. And listen, I'm not kidding. People are literally repelling into stores to steal the cards. It makes sense to continue to add popularity to the franchise while all this madness ensues. I do, however, worry about the tabletop community purists. All of a sudden, a game that was enjoyed by a niche audience is now being thrown into the limelight, and a lot of what made the game special is being driven by greed. Just like underground music suddenly becoming mainstream, purists can always sit in the back of their coffee shops, bookstores, and mom's basement and reflect about the good old days, back when the game was pure. Well, that's about it for today's news. Please make sure you hit that subscription button if you are enjoying our daily rundowns. Hit the like button and bell icon to stay up to date as well. My name is SYNTELL with the Intel. Peace out.